you talked about the policy side kind of cuts. There have been a lot of reports that the kind of listening sessions or presentations that committees are doing on various cuts are meeting a lot of resistance. People are saying, well, various caucuses within the conference say, wait a sec, you can't touch this. And then yesterday, you get the kind of fiasco around the freeze and all the misunderstanding and clarifications. You guys were meeting, in the middle of that. How is that conversation, or how was it impacted by yesterday and the, things to cut, services to eliminate?
Well, I can tell you, I spent a lot of my day yesterday responding to, very upset and concerned nonprofit entities, and, agencies that provide critical services to, the IDD community, for instance. And, I spoke to OMB and got greater clarity, and they put out a revised, memo to provide more clarity, which certainly was helpful to make clear that things like SNAP were not being frozen. But look, anytime you're going to make cuts, there's going to be people who are upset about it. There's going to be people who push back on it. But we have to be honest and have a realistic discussion about all of this. We are $36 trillion in debt. Everybody says, wow, that's so bad. We got to deal with this. Everybody says they understand it. But then the moment you actually start talking about cuts, cue the full-fledged meltdown. I'm not in any way diminishing or disputing the fact that there are legitimate things that should not be cut. And there are legitimate programs that serve a critical purpose. And as we have been working through some of these suggested cuts, I have pushed back, as it pertains to the impact it would have on New York, or the impact it would have on my district, or the impact it would have on hospitals, and, certainly from a healthcare perspective. So, this is a function that you're going to have to work through step by step. That's why you can't just take a sledgehammer to the budget, or use a butcher's knife. You really do need to use a scalpel. You need to go line by line. You need to understand the direct impact it would have if you make this change or tweak. So that's what we're working through. I'm sure in the end there's going to be something that I don't like in there, but it's something that, you have to be willing to work through this if we're going to find compromise and we're going to get to a final bill. There are things in the conference that many of us fully agree on, work requirements, for instance. That's a pretty easy one for every Republican to sign on to. So there are ways to address some of the spending issues as we work through it, to actually address the debt and deficit in a meaningful way while continuing to grow the economy, increase domestic production of energy, secure the border, and obviously have a tax bill that is effective for the American people.